Hello guys, welcome to Jeff's Garage Adventures. You like tools? This is your channel. I do lots and lots of tool reviews, mostly middle of the road, some low end, high end sprinkled in as well, and I also do some car tech tips and repairs. I had a request for this video. I had a subscriber ask me, he says, Jeff, do you use any of your vintage CRAFTSMAN old school wrenches? Those are all vintage, not all of them, but most of them. The ones that aren't vintage are from there. Over there, those are newer ratchet wrenches, and down there, those are newer ratchet wrenches. I don't use those because I got better ones, but those are CRAFTSMAN, but they're not vintage. The vintage are the Saltus, the wrench with the socket on the end of it, the double box long pattern SAE and metric 12-point box. Those are vintage. The double box offset wrenches, SAE and metric. Those are vintage. The Stubbies, those are SAE, those are metric. No, they're SAE, not metric, excuse me. And here in the middle, you got SAE on one side, metric on the other. Those are all 12-point box combination wrenches. They're vintage. And up top here, from there to there, you got SAE and metric 6-point combination wrenches. Those are vintage. Which ones do you still use, Jeff? I don't use any, pretty much don't use any of the 12-point box regular pattern combination wrenches. Let's grab one. I have a lot of wrenches, so I don't pretty much use these. A lot of people didn't like the raised panel. They never bothered me. I grew up with these. My fathers used these. My uncles all used them. That's just the way it was back then. That's all we used. There's the V with the inverted V on it. It is USA made. This one's 1 5/16. This one you had to buy by itself. A few of them you had to buy by themselves. They didn't come that big. Most of the sets only went to like an inch on the SAE side. I don't use those anymore. I'll never get rid of them. On the metric side, I went up to 27 mil. It was the biggest I had. There's a V with the inverted V, made in USA. These with the regular pattern, raised panel, 12-point box combination wrenches. I don't use those anymore at all. The Saltus wrenches, the ones with the socket in the end, these were never that popular. I never used it a lot back then. I never use it a lot now. Once in a while, though, there'll be some place where I can't get something else on, and I'll grab one of these bad boys. They never took off. Any of you guys got these? Let me know. I only got the SAE side, but every once in a blue moon, I might use one. I might use that. The long pattern 12-point box wrenches. I still use these for suspension work. This is the 1 5/16. And yes, it's made in USA, if we can get the focus for you. I still use these sometimes for suspension work. Maybe on a ball joint sometimes or something, you know, on a truck. That's 1 1/8 and 1 5/16. That's a good size wrench. I bought those two in sets. Those were expensive back then. So I occasionally still use these for the long pattern double box. It goes up to 30 on the metric side. There is some rust on these. These things are 40 years old, guys. Those get used still. My CRAFTSMAN offset wrenches, these weren't, obviously these weren't the pro line. They got the crude finish. I got the SAE. I think it's SAE on one side. I got metric on the other side of it. I have both there. Those were two different sets. I still use these occasionally. I got some nicer sets I use. But back in the 80s, they got used a lot for struts. When you bought the struts, back then they weren't pre-assembled. You had to take the bearing cap off. You had to have a rod. The rod had a hole in it for an Allen wrench. You held the piston from turning, and you put this on. When the spring was compressed, you put this on the top of the nut and take it off. You couldn't use a regular wrench because it had a dip in the plate and a regular combination wrench wouldn't go on it. And obviously you couldn't put a socket on there because you were holding the rod in the middle with a Allen socket or T-handle. The stubbies still get used. I still grab these once in a while. These are the SAE sizes. And yeah, they're made in USA, all vintage, guys. VV. These are pretty cool. I don't know anybody's got any of these. If you guys got any of these, let me know. But these still get used. Ooh, my 6-point box. Raised panel, regular length combination wrenches. I still use these. I only go up to 17 mil on the metric side. There's the V with the inverted V. These are in pretty nice shape. These are hard to find at a yard sale. If you find these in a yard sale, you better pick them up immediately. These are rare birds. You see a lot of 12-point, not 6-point. On the SAE side, I go up to 15/16 in a 6-point box. I don't have a lot of 6-point box. 6-point boxes are getting harder and harder to find with ratchet wrenches and regular wrenches. There's the V with the inverted V. You can see it right there. So those still get used. So that's about it as far as these go. That's what I grew up with, guys, when I was a young buck back in the early 80s. And so that's it in a nutshell. Some of it gets used, some of it I don't use anymore. I have so many damn wrenches, it's crazy. All right, guys, that's it. I had a request for it, so I try to get through all the requests as soon as I can. It takes time. I got 2 pages full of requests, but keep it coming. I love the feedback. I want to thank everybody that subscribed. You guys have been great. Have a great day, and tomorrow's a giveaway. I'm sure some of you guys are waiting for that. Tomorrow's the giveaway, so don't miss tomorrow's video. Take care.